guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. We are back in business. A couple of days off because there wasn't really too much going on, but now we've got some more news. We've got some stat lines as well as we are approaching Apex Legends World Championship month, which is obviously September, which, by the way, there's a lot of just kind of a random, speaking of months and stuff, times of the year, it is hurricane season. I don't know if that's just like, you know, just a US thing as well. Obviously I know hurricanes are not, but like this time of year, obviously really bad for hurricanes, and there's some making landfall pretty shortly. So obviously, depending on where you're at in the world, stay safe and hope you guys are all doing well in your personal lives as well. However, we've got Apex Legends news to talk about, roster drama, roster update, roster changes, and then also how these teams are looking going into champs as well. So if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends esports related, of course, make sure to click that fat like button and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this. First thing I wanted to make mention of, Gauntlet League, that is starting up Monday for this playoff final beta thing that they're doing. They did all this stuff for the 2 weeks that they were going through. You have your captains now solidified and a couple names that are kind of like underdogs here. I was pretty excited to see Mav FPS, you know, tier 2 kind of pro player coming up into the tier 1 scene. So I'm really happy to see him kind of make his debut on like a, you know, like a captain kind of spot. Really happy to see this Riley guy. I've been playing it. He's been in my ranked lobbies just destroying me all day, every day. And then of course you've got your big guys, your Verhulst, your Waltzies, all these dudes. Imperial Howl, of course, over on the other side as well. So a lot of really good names. I'm just happy to see some of these guys that don't have their picture up. You know, they're kind of making a name for themselves in this league, and hopefully they can have some pop-off moments and find themselves on a tier 1 organization before it's all said and done. We'd love to see that for some of them. Now let's talk about the stat lines going into ALGS champs. Obviously they've been doing mock-up lands, they've been doing scrims constantly. A lot of stuff has been going on. It's been like non-stop international lands because obviously these teams want to play against each other, get reps with each other, so that they can get ready for champs. Now this is kind of zoomed out and also a really long article. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but shout out to PC Swan 96 on the competitive Apex subreddit page. This is a really nice graph here, and basically multiple graphs, and then also some more summaries of all of these teams as well. So we're going to go and dive into the big teams like your Dark Zeros that have been constantly winning, your TSMs that have been constantly close to winning, and obviously the fan favorites, your NRGs, your OpTics, all of this stuff, a lot of North American teams, and then also some underdogs coming from the EMEA scene, EMEA scene. Really, I'm sick of calling it EMEA, and it's not even right. It's definitely not the right way to pronounce it. It's EMEA. Regardless, we're over this. Anyways, we're not only talking about them, but also some APAC teams that are apparently making a very big dark horse story also. So first thing I wanted to make mention, Dark Zero and TSM both started off this whole block stuff 2 weeks ago. First 2 weeks very hot. Basically they were doing very good. They were the top 2 guys. I was seeing the stats. It was constantly Dark Zero. I think Sentinels were doing good at some point in this like little mock land that they were doing. Nonetheless, throughout all of this, Dark Zero TSM had been doing pretty decent. However, they've seemed to slow down quite a bit. Dark Zero and TSM are now averaging about 3 points less per game than what they used to be, and then also like all around the stat cards for the most part seeming to go down a little bit for them. However, we're still kind of expecting them to be the fan favorite, and if you look at this average point per game, they're still number 1. So it's really not like that crazy. Like you can see there's some, you know, there's some discrepancies here. OpTic Gaming, look at this is what the craziest thing I think I noticed here. OpTic Gaming is just consistent with everything, literally across the board. They are consistent on like absolutely everything, just neck and neck with everything. You see Dark Zero, really big jumps over here for Storm Point, really low lows here for World's Edge, and then obviously total points per game, they're pretty, you know, neck and neck with OpTic Gaming. TSM, pretty like the same, like Storm Point not too good, but still not bad. World's Edge very good, and then average points across the board still higher than most all these other teams. But OpTic Gaming just being so consistent overall, I feel like they're really a good contender to win this championship for year 3. I think would be a good storyline as well. However, we go back to some of these other stories, some other names to make mention of here. NRG and Alliance are the ones that have improved significantly, so says PC Swan 96, and here were the numbers for these guys, and this is really impressive. Who would have thought that NRG playing and participating in scrims would have actually been beneficial? Now I obviously know that, you know, there's some reasons why they've made some changes, some updates that have some you know, influence on that as well. Nonetheless, I'm happy to see them playing in scrims, and it seems like it's working out. So Alliance and NRG have improved significantly in the last 2 weeks. Alliance has increased their points per game by 1.7, so instead of about 7.07, now 8.7 7-7, also improving across top statistics, where NRG seems to have sorted their problems with their in-game conversion and came away with 5 wins compared to the 0 wins that they had in the first 2 weeks of these. NRG also dramatically improved their top 3% by 24.39% versus 11.9%. So nearly actually over doubling their top 3 percentage here as well. And then top 5 percentage, instead of 26%, now 46%. So really big props to NRG. And honestly, we looked at split 1 playoffs. NRG had the most points, I think, across all teams, just got second place to TSM. And they were really strong in split 1. They didn't play so well in split 2, but not bad. Still made finals. I think they got like top 10-ish somewhere in there, but obviously not the NRG we were used to seeing. Now the NRG seems to be back on this upward trend. Is this their time to shine? Obviously, you've got NRG to look out for. You've got, you can't count out Dark Zero because they've just been win everything. TSM you can never count out because they're one and they're constantly consistent fan favorites. They got the ice factor. You can't count out NRG because obviously we know they can do it. So a lot of people in a lot of big trajectories right now. Just really good momentum for a lot of these teams as well. However, it doesn't start there. Obviously, we've got Alliance seeming to do good as well. Alliance seems to do really good in group stages, especially with their controller god effect. And we'll see if they can bring that fire into this land like they did the last time. Hopefully they don't slow down a bit over on the after group stages start to happen and we get into bracket play. That's when we saw Alliance unfortunately take a really bad downward spiral. Now A310, previously Laugh Table, this is the team that actually took Crazy Raccoon's spot after Crazy Raccoon could not unfortunately compete at champs anymore. If you guys were not aware, the Korean players known as Raz and Parka, I think, are no longer competing. I think Raz got called up to the military. Unfortunately, he's not able to play anymore. Parka decided he didn't want to play anymore. Some other stuff was going on in that. Crazy Raccoon just basically decided to step out. A310 decides to step in, however, struggled to gain much ground after all of this stuff happened, failing to score double digits in any other game and struggling to achieve many kills with only 0.8 points per game. They also unfortunately hold last spot overall, so really tough to see out of A310. Now, not only is that something to note, it's arguably realized, he says, that we're the big winners of the last 2 weeks. Although only winning 4 games, they topped the charts in top 10 percentage by 76% and top 5 by 46%, like literally pretty close to NRG as well, and only beating the top spot in top 3% by OpTic Gaming. So OpTic obviously really consistent overall by less than a single percentage though was this different. So Realize really doing an amazing job, and I'm really happy to see not just North America doing good and not just North America getting the stat lines like they always do, but some other regions as well. Now, it's not necessarily meaning that these other regions are catching up. You can see from the average kills and placements per region, it's North America. It's all North America. North America winning pretty much in everything. Average highest kills, average highest placements. APAC South shortly after, obviously Moist and Crew, not really surprised by that. APAC South, an amazing region. However, it's not just those guys. It seems like obviously the kills are a little bit less on APAC South. The European region has done a little bit better of a job than APAC South has in the kill department, but it seems like the placement wise has gone a little bit more in the favor of APAC South, and so that's why you see APAC South in second. You see EMEA EMEA in third, APAC North in fourth, and unfortunately South America, as we all know, still struggling to find their footing in this pro scene. Obviously, I know it was a deep dive, but I know you guys are curious as to how these pro players are doing and how things are looking forward going into the future. And I think that's probably the stat line you want to look in for, and especially because this is the most current. Like, there's not necessarily anything you want to go. You don't really want to track Imperial How's progression in the Gauntlet League for this, because even though it is competition, it's something going on, there's obviously just no team factor there. So I think the scrims are the best thing to go off of. So there you have it. Now let me know, which team do you think is going to win champs? Now let's move on into some other things as well. Believe it or not, that wasn't supposed to be the main stat line, but since that kind of is becoming the main video, I guess at this point, let's move on to some more important stuff, and we'll touch on this other stuff later. So we are talking about ALGS champs. A big change coming to ALGS champs is phenomenal. One of the biggest complaints of the last split 2 playoffs was the production team and the observer team. Unfortunately, you would watch Sweet Dreams in a nasty, important fight, and just for whatever reason, we would stop watching the fight and start watching some other things. And Sweet Dreams' physical body, for some reason, a lot of times the cameraman would take it off of the action, and we would get into a fight. Right before the fight gets juicy, they move it to somewhere else, and it just didn't make any sense at all. Well, thankfully, they've actually listened and hired a new guy, and happy to reveal from Roots that he is headed to ALGS Championship as an in-game director for all the All-Star Observer teams. Enormous opportunity, so ready to bring the GG long shot magic to the world stage. So obviously, the official partner here for the ALGS and APAC South, now they're going to be doing ALGS Champs. It will be the best viewing experience at ALGS event ever, he says, and APAC South baby. So we'll see, obviously, hopefully ALGS a little bit more fun to watch this go round. I would love to see it. Now, more roster updates. Native Gaming making a little bit of a roster change. Now, this is not necessarily like a big shock, but it is kind of a shock because Native has been pretty tight knit, and I think Native has obviously been a pretty good team and a good force to be reckoned with at some point. Unfortunately, not getting the results they were exactly looking for. You could always expect a change when that happens. They have decided to part ways with Prophet, basically thanking him for his time at Native Gaming, and also saying he's been a pleasure to work with and watch. We're excited to see what the future holds for him. Stay tuned for an announcement regarding the team soon. Seems like they're going to be making a roster change, of course. Now, Prophet came to Twitter basically saying looking for a new team with Apex for year 4 or year 4 Challenger circuit as well. So not only Pro League, also willing to go back down to Challengers and all future tournaments. 7th and 8th goes basically to show all of this stuff. But he did say, this is the weird thing, he actually received an offer that he felt, no, he said they received an offer that they felt was going to provide more benefit than me. So I was cut from the roster. So I don't know what this, like, I don't know exactly what this offer was, because it's Native Gaming. You know, you would think that maybe that would be the whole idea of, like, if Native Game, they would be the one giving the offer, right? Not the one receiving an offer. So I'm confused if they're going to be like selling the team, maybe like to another org, or exactly how that works. But I'm a little like lost here. I don't really understand what exactly is going on, but nonetheless, they decided to cut him from the roster. Now he says, I'm transitioning to a content creator role and I'm hungrier than ever to succeed. Hit me up in the DMs, obviously, with serious offers. He says, I definitely feel upset over the situation, but there is nothing I can do for the moment, and I wish the best for the boys. I hope they do some great things as well. So it also looks like, according to the comments, so is it just Klein left? JFC, look out for the Kenny comeback and the eye roll. Kenny, I don't know how you pronounce this guy. There's a lot. I actually saw this guy the other day on some leaderboard thing, and I'm like, bro, there's so many pros in this scene. I only know the top, and even at the top, I have English issues. I can barely pronounce any of them. But he says, yes, the only OG member left is Klein, and obviously the other guy's still sitting in the sub spot as well. So I'm not really sure what this Native roster is looking to do here in the future. Also wanted to mention that Shiv just recently, they played, I think last night, if you guys didn't watch this, there was a lot of there was a big Soar and Doritos tournament going on, $10,000. I'm honestly surprised that Timmy's team did not win because they had like the most stacked roster of all time, but it was Shiv that won with Zane and I can never remember how to pronounce this guy's name, bro. I'm telling you, these Apex pros are just absolutely crazy. Ozvivian, something like that. I'm just going to call him Oz. That's just the best way to go about it. Oz, and there's another guy, like OJREIN, and I've seen the name a million times, but I've literally haven't heard it pronounced in God knows how long. I just call him Orange Juice. Just OJ. That's just the easiest way to go about it. So anyways, Shiv wins. Don't really know how Timmy doesn't win. If you guys saw that, I think Timmy had Gent, and also they had Enemy on the team, so it was like literally a stacked full pro team versus, you know, slash pro slash content creator. But nonetheless, I'm happy to see Shiv won, and Shiv's such a great guy. It's like impossible to not like Shiv at this point. So if you just don't like Shiv, then it's just honestly your problem. Just as we wrap the video up, I want to let you guys know Iron Blood Gaming is back in the ALGS roster business as well. We've seen them in the past. Also, I've seen them, I think, in a lot of a Call of Duty Challenger circuit stuff going on. So just like in general, you know, super competitive and a super good organization for the Challenger scene. I don't think they obviously plan to get too big in finances because obviously it is a lot of money, but I really love when organizations get involved in the tier 2 pro scene stuff because we need more of that stuff. And obviously the Challenger circuit is the heart of all competition, and obviously most of the pros come from Challenger, so it's just good to see. Unfortunate news though, looks like some roster changes happening from the women's competitive scene. We saw one retired not long ago. It's now Janie saying that sadly her Sabs are no longer teaming with Ava anymore. It was a hard decision to make since we have all been gaming together for such a long time. Sabs and I will be exploring other options for a third during this time. Now, what's also crazy is some of the comments basically saying what's funny is Ava is the best of you three. And they said, Janie said, her skill had nothing to do with the removal of the team. Not sure exactly what went on, but obviously this women's roster no longer going to be competing with each other. And of course they couldn't compete in ALGS anyways, because I think, you know, just as far as the rule set goes with the TSM thing, but still obviously a change to make note of. Also, his Watson making it to Twitter about his new sheriff, I guess, deployment here for ALGS or for Apex Legends in general. This guy's not only found the #1 Apex predator and who has been exposed for cheating and now banned, but now it seems like this stuff is happening over on console. They're 9-manning all of their lobbies and just getting to the top 3 every time and then killing each other and just farming RP like no tomorrow. It is crazy that people are still cheating in ranked and not getting serious. Like, what is the fun in this? Like, if you know you're the top rank and you're not legit, how do you even feel accomplished? Like, you didn't even make pred. You literally just cheated there. And of course you can't compete in any like tournament that means anything. So it's like, what respect are you getting out of this? I just don't understand where your mindset is in all of this. Just as we wrap the video up, I'll play this video as you leave. One of the funniest things I've seen in a while. Zero going at it with Nano. The title of this was actually Zero and a Flat Earther, which is so funny. If you've not seen the ALGS environment for long enough, Nano obviously is constantly called Flat Earther in all of this, and all the drama, all the contests that have gone on. It's been so funny to see how they treat each other. Now this was obviously them battling it out verbally, and it gets pretty funny. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and if you want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be going over our top picks and our predictions going in to ALGS champs very shortly, so stay tuned. I'll see you all in the next one. Until next time, later Gators.
You can't type like you do and then be like this in voice.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
you can't. That's not how it works.
Bro,
You either be a bitch all the time, or you be a fucking man all the time, cunt.
Did you say the first time I fucking played with you, pussy? No. So was I wrong? No. So shut the fuck
But
up.
now you want to stop talking.
Bro, what the fuck
Bro,
are you talking
you're
about?
real big in fucking text chat, bro.
Who's
You said
talking- who's
you're not
talking
gonna make
first
me.
in
You're gonna make me not call for lane,
Who's
yeah?
talking first in the chat? You put your 2 cents
Bro,
in there.
you were
No,
talking
fuck you.
fucking mad
You
shit to
were at the
Sykes,
fucking
cunt.
airport. You were at the airport fucking
Yeah,
worried
nothing
about
better
me.
to do, bro. It's fucking good content.
Nothing to do with you. Okay, so you're the one talking
Bro,
shit.
do you
so
know what
now-
having friends
no.
is? Like, I know you fucking don't have any, but if you're gonna sit there and talk mad shit to fucking Sykes, like, I'm gonna fucking fucking pipe him.
1v3. Yeah, I'm gonna talk shit. I'm contesting him, you fucking idiot. You haven't talked shit to people you contested. I 1v3'd him. You fucking retard. Yes. I'm
Dude, no Owens, dude. Can't say that. Offensive.
I don't give a fuck.